So today I'm going to do a reaction video based on Steve Harvey and what he said about his wife Marjorie Harvey, how basically without her he wouldn't be the man that he is today. And we know that Steve has been through several marriages. And the first one, he said he didn't get it right simply because he just didn't have the character at the time. He was so young. He didn't know how to be a husband because he himself didn't know how to be a man. And that just really confirms a word that I talked about earlier about how important it is when you're choosing a spouse that you take your time to developing your own character so you can be all that you can be for the person that you are going to be in holy matrimony with. And he just said he didn't have what it takes when he was so young, and he actually apologized to his first wife, and he says he's done this personally just to share that he knew that he just didn't have he wasn't equipped to be a husband back then. But with Marjorie, he says he found favor and everything changed after he met this woman, that basically he increased. And we know that's what the Bible says: he who finds a wife finds favor, because in a wife is wrapped up encouragement. A wife believes in you. She helps you to be better. She helps you to, she strengthens you. She challenges you to be your very best, right? And I love that he gives all the credit in the world to God first, but then his wife, Marjorie, and he's not ashamed to do it. So let's take a look at the clip.
Things in a different way. And it was her, man, and it's okay, man. It's people don't want to do that now. I know they tired of hearing me saying, but what you want me to say? Shit, I ain't got nothing else for you. Shit, it wasn't just all me.
Right.
She gave me the mindset to be me. And that's crazy, man. It's like there's a dude named Nuri Muhammad. I wish I had my phone, man. You could hear what this dude said about relationships. It's the coldest thing. He said, other than your relationship with God, who you choose to spend the rest of your life with is the single most important decision you will ever make. Because your other half will either your other half will be your better half or make you half of what you could be. Wow. She will either inspire you to greatness or reduce you to mediocrity. So choose wisely. And that was the first time, man, that I'd ever chose wisely.
Now, y'all, look at the come up. In the 90s, Steve wore these big baggy suits. He was just very flamboyant, but look at how smooth and classy and elegant he looks now. This is just what we see on the outward, but you all, this is what a good woman can do for you. She will increase you. She makes you better, and we definitely can see the upgrade. Let's continue. And I love that he says that it was the first time that he ever chose wisely. Now, Steve Harvey grew up in a home, he said, where he watched his mother and father have a beautiful marriage. He said he'd never seen anything like it. Where he saw his father loved his mother so much, put her on a pedestal, and so did they. And he grew up knowing what it meant to love a woman and to see a woman be loved and adored at such high level. So what we see with him, with Marjorie, and his adoration is because it was something that was modeled to him. Now, he didn't get it right at the beginning, right? He had some hiccups, some mess ups. We all fall short from the glory of God. But I love that he's come full circle and he's unashamed to say how much he loves this woman and how much he adores, and that he chose her and she chose him, and whatever the dynamics in the background, it's really not up to us to decipher, if Marjorie, there's a lot of hype, if Marjorie worked all of this, but he thinks so, and that's what matters. And you know what? They love each other. And I think there's a lot to be learned here. There's a lot of wisdom in what Steve said. A lot of people look at Steve's life and it's so easy to pick up our stones because we can see all of the mistakes that he has made because he's front and center. But if our lives were front and center too, we might not measure up to other people's standards. I tell you, we would not. And I just think it's refreshing that he's sharing wisdom. And I love how he says, that all of these young women, he breaks his myth that you don't need a man. Yes, you do need a man. Do you like to be cherished? Do you like to be put on a pedestal? Do you like for someone to be able to change your tire and to come and wash your car and do all of these things, and do manly things? Yeah, he says, I take pride in caring for my family. Steve says he takes pride in caring for his wife, that he can provide for our family, that she can go and get her nails done. How many of you, can appreciate a man who understands his role, and he understands the mission, and he executes it, right? I love it. So kudos to Steve Harvey. If you all want to see the full interview, I will put the link in the description box because it is phenomenal. The host, Shannon, I forget his last name, Shannon Sharp, I believe it is. He is amazing. He's a dynamic interviewer. He has turned out to be a really outstanding top of the line interviewer. And so I'm going to put that link in the description box. Y'all have a beautiful Friday and enjoy.